Did you know that emus are the second largest bird in the world? What's first? Why, the ostrich, of course. They're related to them. Emus can grow up to 2 meters tall. They can live between 10 and 20 years in the wild. They're covered in soft, fluffy feathers, and they have 2 sets of eyelids, one for blinking and the other for keeping the dust out. They are some really large, funny-looking birds, and today we are going to draw our own Wacky Emu. For this project, you need a piece of paper to draw on, and then either a orange or yellow sheet of paper to draw your beak on. If you don't have a color piece of paper, a white paper will do, and you can just color it. And also you need another piece of paper, a white piece of paper to draw your eyes on. You will need a Sharpie and glue, crayons, and watercolor paint. All right, let's get started. I chose to go with cool color crayons. You choose what colors you want. And I'm going to start by putting a dot in the center, the top center of my paper. His head is gonna go right here. We are gonna make a cute little Wacky Emu. And I'm gonna start at the dot and go out, in, out, in, out, in. And it's going to turn into a fuzzy little circle, or kind of like a little starburst or fireworks. Out, in, always going back to the same dot and going out about the same, they're almost the same length all the way around. And so you just keep doing that. Go around a couple of times. I want it nice and fuzzy. So I'm gonna do a few little strokes there and switch colors. Do my green. Now we have a nice fuzzy head. We need to do the neck. So I'm going to start at the bottom of the head and just do some lines going diagonal down this way, lines going diagonal down this way, and fill it in with a few strokes here. Blend it in a little there. Switch colors. Use all the same colors you used in the head, you need to use in the neck. Make sure you get all the way down to the bottom and really fill the neck in with a lot of these lines so it's about as thick as the head is. Okay, so now we have a head and a neck. Let's make our eyes and our beak. So I have an orange paper for my beak. I want my beak to be about that wide, so I'm visualizing it. And I want to start with a little hump for the middle of the beak and then come out. There's the top of the beak and then come down to a point. Okay, and he's got his nostrils and then there's his mouth and his beak. Now you can draw with pencil and outline with Sharpie. I just did mine with Sharpie. Cut it out and glue it. And right below where I started that dot, I'm gonna glue my beak. Now time to make my eyes. So I'm gonna draw 2 circles. Curved line. And cut your eyes out and glue them down also. We have a pretty wacky little emu. Now, we're not quite finished. We want to paint the background. This is a little too plain. So I use cool colors on my crayon. So I want to use a warm color background so that my emu stands out. So you always want to use an opposite color. Try to pick a color that you didn't use on your crayons. I am going to paint the background red. So I want a light watercolor wash. So I'm activating my paint and bringing some over, whoops, get that off of there, over here, add a little bit of water. This is to make sure that I have a nice light red and I'm not painting really dark for my background. And just brush right over that crayon and do your background. And here I have my Wacky Emu. He's all done. So here is my other one that I did in opposite colors. I really like the bright yellows in this one. I hope you guys had fun with this project. Can't wait to see your silly little emus.